It doesn't matter if you want to run, walk, or bike. You can do them all in Murrells Inlet. Definitely in 2007. You can even do it this Saturday. What's it all about? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Carolina Trust Federal Credit Union on 21st Avenue in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on Murrells Inlet 2007, and we're visiting with its executive director, Sue Sledz. Good morning, Sue.
Hey, Greg. Nice to see you again.
Thanks so much for coming back.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's
a little early in the morning.
That's right. I know it is early, but not early for your events coming up. Obviously, this Saturday you're going to be up way early.
That's right. That's right. This Saturday we have a fundraiser, the Race for the Inlet.
Right.
And it's a walk, run, bicycle event. And we also have optional chip timings for those who are inclined for professionally timed results. Mm-hmm. And we have enlisted Danny White of Race Management Systems. Any of the runners on the beach know about Danny. Right. So we're pretty excited about it. We got great sign-ups already, and people can still sign up. Actually, today is the last day for late registration. But then the day of, they can come down to the park early in the morning. We'll be down there at 6:30 in the morning.
Okay,
I think it might be dark at the time, but we'll be there. And accept early registrants for the day.
Great, good. But it kicks off at 8.
8 a.m. is when we step off, and it's a 5K. Goes up Business 17, around Blaine, down Murrells Inlet Road, across Vauxhall, and back down Business 17, so we end back at Morse Park Landing.
Okay.
And then we might stop over at your house for breakfast.
Good, yeah, absolutely. We'd love that. I'm having a big barbecue this Saturday. We'll have 100-some folks over today, so it'll be a big day. I'm glad you all are wrapping up beforehand. We wouldn't want to knock anyone over on the way down. It should be, Murrells Inlet's so special, and of course it's got so much going on. And Murrells Inlet 2007, it is 2007 now.
It is. I had a laugh last week. I was up at the park for Huntington Beach State Park for Can-Am, the History and Wildlife Day, and in prior years everybody always asked, what's the significance of 2007? But this year I didn't get asked that once, because it's the year finally.
They know.
And I know back when the organization was founded 10 years ago, it seemed forever.
Oh, yeah.
And light years away.
It did.
And here we are already. It's upon us. So.
I know. And of course the significance of that name, you feel comfortable. Y'all are and I know y'all are going to be talking about this and many other things tomorrow night at your chowder talk.
That's right. We have our annual spring chowder talk. We actually do them twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. It's an update to the community.
Right.
Try to host various speakers, topics of interest to the community. So tomorrow night we have it. It's at chowder starts at 6:30, compliments of Drunken Jacks and Inlet Affairs.
Yeah.
And the meeting will be held at Inlet Affairs directly across the street from Drunken Jacks on Business 17.
Right.
And then the meeting will start at 7 p.m. And boating safety has been an interest for many of the residents in Murrells Inlet.
Oh, yeah.
The inlet, the boats keep coming in, and so we're going to have some speakers from DNR. South Carolina DNR will be there along with Senator Cleary.
Is that right? Tomorrow night.
Talk about the what can be done about making sure that it's always safe out there in the inlet, because that is utmost importance for everyone.
Absolutely.
And then we'll be updating the community on some proposed long-term goals that the board worked out back in a workshop in January. So. We feel the board believes that as long as the community sports is there, which has always been phenomenal, it's just a phenomenal community, that we would continue on to do the types of projects that the community wants and needs. And of course, over the past 10 years, the Marsh Walk is, a major claim to fame.
Yes,
it's just done wonders for the entire inlet, not just the restaurants there. And of course, we've done the bike lanes, promotion of Murrells Inlet, landscaping, signage, So there's been a lot of projects that have been completed.
Well, we sure want to get into all of those. We've got a little bit of time to do that, but if a viewer needs to get off to work or to get family off to school or otherwise, what's the best? Is there a phone number? Do you all have a website, Sue?
Both, yeah.
Okay, great.
The phone number is 357-2007.
Oh, yeah, easy one to remember.
That for this year, then next year, we'll have, it'll be old news, but... and I'll be the person on the phone for whoever may call for information on any of the projects or activities we have.
Events, yeah.
And our website is merlesinletsc.com.
Great, merlesinletsc.com.
That's right.
And it's a great site. There's a ton of tremendous information on there, a lot of good links and otherwise.
That's right, and we always try to keep our event calendar current up there, so if in doubt, just check out there to see what's going on.
Right. And that is then a very hectic event calendar with something tomorrow night, something this Saturday, something April 1st, something I think April 16th.
That's right.
Literally over the next 4 weeks, you've just got it packed.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic. It comes in spurts. It's the nature of the beast. You tend to sit quiet during summer because everyone's so busy.
Right.
And then in the fringe seasons is really a good time to get out and make things happen for the community.
Yeah.
You mentioned April 1st. That is the Lost at Sea Memorial annual ceremony. This will be the second year. Of course, the monument was unveiled last year and really initiated and launched by the family of Johnny Brown, one of the local fishermen who was lost at sea.
Right.
So there are 5 more names to be added this year's ceremony. So that'll be April 1st at 2 p.m. at Morse Park Landing. Okay. And then a few weeks later, we have our annual golf and tennis benefit, April 16th.
Okay.
It's at Wachesaw Plantation. It's a great event. It's our 9th year now of running.
9th year? I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's tremendous.
Been a long-running event. Wachesaw Plantation's a private course, so it's an excellent opportunity to get out there and play a beautiful course. The azaleas are usually in bloom at that time.
Yeah.
And so we invite anybody who's possibly interested in playing or even sponsoring. We still have sponsorship spots available.
Good. And what day of the week is that's the 16th?
That's a Monday.
Okay, on a Monday.
That's a Monday.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, good. So you should have a great turnout that day.
That's right. And then it's, the tennis and the golf tournaments are followed with lunch at Kimball's.
Good, right there.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful setting right there on the river. It's just gorgeous.
So again, if a viewer was interested in possibly being a part of the tournament, have you all sold out on that yet, or you've got some room?
It's filling up quickly, and it always does sell out every year because we limit the spots to facilitate play.
Yes.
So
they need
give
to
us
call
a call.
the phone number.
That's
Could they sign up online, or is it all by phone number?
We have the information online, but they need to contact us. Yeah.
That's great. Phone's often so good, and it's easy for a viewer right now. If they needed to get up, they can call, leave a voicemail message for you, since we're here at Carolina Trust and not down in the Merle's Inlet 2007 office.
I return all phone calls. So.
That's great. Yes, you do. You're very responsive, Sue. And, of course, to think about, and y'all's great location there, you've been in that same location, I guess, from the get-go.
Yeah, exactly. Over in the Village Center.
Right across from the restaurant there.
Lee's Inlet Kitchen.
Lee's Inlet Kitchen.
So it's a great location, most definitely. Right in the center of Merle's Inlet. I guess it was, it used to be the location of the old Merle's Inlet post office at one time.
Is that right?
Right in that area.
That.
So,
yeah.
So often people the locals will refer to it as such. So.
That's wild. I didn't know that. Of course, we go down to Blue Elephant, a little Thai restaurant, a little south of your office, not far. And, of course, you've got the River City Cafe right there, a little north of you.
All kinds of good eats around.
A lot of other great eats,
Not to mention the great seafood restaurants all up and down Business 17. And our markets, the seafood markets.
Yes.
So
a lot going on in Merle's Inlet.
We do.
A lot of folks don't think about that. I don't think as often as they should. Mayor Rhodes is going to be with us from the city of Myrtle Beach on Friday, and we sure want to talk about the goings-on in Myrtle Beach. But, as you go up and down the Strand, it's so fascinating to think about all the activities in the different pockets of our communities.
Oh, definitely. And there's different flavors to all the nooks and crannies of our area, too. So if anyone hasn't been to Merle's Inlet, you need to get down there because it's a completely different look and feel from many of the other areas.
What brought you to? Are you originally from the area, Sue?
No, I'm originally from Ohio,
Uh-huh.
and it was love at first sight. The classic story, I came down to visit my sister and brother-in-law who had purchased a house down here
Yeah.
to visit and was signing real estate papers, an hour before heading to the airport.
Oh, no.
And thinking, oh my goodness, I just
Yeah.
bought a house here, and
What was that?
it was
Yeah.
love at first sight.
Wow.
And so that was 9 years ago. And
Your sister and brother-in-law had moved down, and did they have connections here? I mean, is that-
well, actually, yes, because my brother-in-law's aunt and uncle have been down in the area
Is
for over
that
20
right?
years. So, yeah, it's I love being near, obviously, as everyone does, near the coast.
Sure.
And Murrells Inlet itself was just inviting as could be, and
Yes,
it's with its
yes.
special little character. So.
And how did Murrells Inlet 2007? How did you all connect, Sue? Had you been?
I started volunteering with them back in 2002, I think it was. I had been in my prior life, by profession and training experience, had been a project manager managing primarily large computer implementations.
Really?
So Murrells Inlet 2007 was getting started on rebuilding the old government dock into a fishing pier, and
Right.
so I'd been following the organization and offered up my skills as a project manager to try to
Sure.
get that going for them, and volunteered with them for a couple of years, and while I worked primarily out of town, back and forth, a lot of travel,
Right.
and then the position opened up, and
Yeah,
They
it just
hired
happened.
me.
That's tremendous. And of course, but that highlights some. Are there ever volunteer needs, Sue? Do you have volunteer
absolutely.
needs on a regular basis?
Absolutely. We have all kinds of volunteer needs, especially now that we're just at the cusp of launching many new projects.
Sure. Yes.
So we use volunteers
yeah,
for the
what-
events.
right,
Actually,
okay.
like for example, on the race
This
this coming
Saturday,
Saturday,
right.
we'll have a lot of volunteers on the road and at the park helping us
Good.
out.
So you could still take volunteers even for this Saturday.
I think
They need to call
we're
it
good.
in.
No,
Oh,
we're
you're
good for this
okay.
Saturday.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
great.
got them all organized, and we
Listen
never
to that.
have an issue with it too. I mean, the community is so supportive.
Oh yeah.
And then and there's always needs. We can use folks with some internet skills to do some research for us on funding.
Good. Yes.
And then of course for all the fundraising planning, we have the race, we have the golf and tennis tournament, we have a gala every fall.
That's been very popular. Is that
Yes.
the same thing, traveling from restaurant to restaurant?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've done that. This past year we had it at the firehouse.
Oh, good.
It was a
At
one-time
fixed
deal.
location. Yeah.
And then we're also looking to do a home tour again this year for the
Great.
holiday season.
Very popular.
Your house was on it 2 years ago, and
I'm
it
just
was
thrilled that y'all even considered the
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
so for all those events and many of the just the planning committees, we're always looking for folks, and we have great support.
And I was amazed, Sue, the folks that came in, and I was about to ask that question, if you ever have volunteers at Murrells Inlet 2007 who do not live in Murrells Inlet, and I know you must, because
Yeah, we
I was
do.
fascinated by the number of folks that visited the home, and of course I went to check out the other homes as well, but who didn't live in or around Murrells Inlet. They were traveling from long distances to see these homes on the creek.
Yeah, that's the nature of a home tour.
Yeah,
Everyone. It does draw a lot of folks from many areas, especially the home tour. Everyone, loves to take a peek into
Oh,
people's
yes, that's
homes.
right.
So.
That's right. And it is
But
strange.
just like the race, too, the Saturday, we have lots of sign-ups coming from Myrtle Beach and Conway,
Great.
Georgetown, Mount Pleasant. We got folks. One of our sponsors is out of Mount Pleasant.
Is that right?
Who has a long-time Murrells Inlet family connection.
Sure.
So, it draws, these events can draw a lot of different folks, so, which is good for everybody,
Oh, yeah.
And I like
Oh, yeah.
the day of the home tour, the restaurants were full that day for lunchtime, so,
I remember. So you all are definitely going to do another home tour, Sue.
we're as soon as we get past this round of fundraisers, we're going to start rounding up the homes. And
it'll still be around Christmas time?
Yep.
Or? Good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
tremendous.
it's a nice time to do
if
it,
there's
yeah.
anything we can do to help lock some folks up, please let me know,
Okay,
or run
we
some
will.
ads in the Herald to
We'd love
help
to.
promote that.
We'll
Of
take
course,
you up
you've
on
got the annual Spring Chowder Talk tomorrow night. And
That's
again, you
right.
talked about the memorial on Sunday, April 1st. the golf and tennis tournament on the 16th, but a lot going on. And of course, Merle's Inlet 2000 or merlesinletsc.com not only has information about what prompted the founding of Merle's Inlet 2007, but also a lot of your future plans.
That's right. And some of the projects we'll be reviewing with the community tomorrow at the Chowder Talk are big capital project type items. First and foremost always is the preservation of the creek. So we've already met with our colleagues from Horry and Georgetown County, the stormwater engineers, as well as Dr. Libas from Coastal Carolina,
okay, sure,
to scope out and get going a comprehensive, sustainable water quality monitoring program for the inlet. Over the years, grants have come and gone, and people, do some monitoring.
Right.
Of course, DHEC monitors the oyster beds for the fecal coliform, but we really want to get something, a program in there that's really going to get the data and keep the data coming, so we can really watch and see and understand what's going on and where it's happening. It's a big inlet. And then we'll also be looking to focus our attention at correcting. There's outfalls throughout the inlet that can be problematic, so we'll be looking to, there might be UV lighting or some other technology we could get in place to help with that.
Now, what is the area that's covered, Sue, by Merle's Inlet 2007? Or what is, if a viewer asks, what is Merle's Inlet? Where does that begin and where does it end? Is there a Well,
the post office has defined Merle's Inlet for us.
Yeah, good. Even better. That's right.
So it's very big.
Define that. Yeah,
it goes. It's all the way up to the Garden City Connector.
Is that right?
And
so Mount Gilead is part of
Merle's Inlet, that's right.
Inlet.
See, Merle's Inlet's also split between Georgetown County and Horry County.
Horry and Georgetown,
and
that's right.
It goes all the way to the river.
Goes all the way to the river.
Yeah, and
wow.
it runs south, including Brook Green and Huntington Beach State Park. And
is
then
that
of course,
right? So,
and then of course everybody, especially the old timers, sure, Merle's Inlet is Business 17, world, and that's
sure.
it. But that's the. And even over on Garden City Point, on the beach there's a section of it that's considered Merle's Inlet.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So the Garden City Point itself is considered Merle's Inlet?
Georgetown County Merle's Inlet, right.
I was not aware of that.
Yes, so it's a very, varied area, but all-encompassing.
That Merle's Inlet post office over there near SCB&T and the Waccamaw Community Hospital, that post office defines Merle's Inlet really as being very large.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It runs down 707, too.
Right, sure, up towards
and some of the
TPC.
folks on 707, they live in the Burgess community, but they have a Merle's Inlet address. So
it's fascinating, Sue.
Yeah.
Another reason why a lot of folks, but y'all, and Merle's Inlet 2007 really has an interest in much of that very large area.
Very, very much so. Our focus has always been and will primarily be right along the core commercial district, Business 17.
Right.
Because as we all know, if your downtown area is healthy, then the whole community is alive and well. So
very good point. Very good
so
point.
There's still a lot of focus that needs to be done along the road, and especially along the lines of beautification and things like that.
So that's a very good reason why the people in that entire very large area would be interested in attending Chowder Talk tomorrow night.
Oh yes,
Are there? Is there room for folks to show up?
Oh, absolutely.
And it's totally open to the public.
That's right.
Right.
Steaming hot chowder. It's delicious and free. So.
You want folks there at 6:30, and you said Senator Cleary's going to be there tomorrow night as well.
That's right,
That's
with our friends from DNR to talk about the boating safety concerns.
That's great. Well, that Inlet Affairs has got a lot going on. They're putting on an event even on Friday night. Senator Cleary will be there again on Friday night for another event at that Inlet Affairs. They're hopping.
Yeah, they've really picked up so much for the community events and meetings and that, because they have a great facility there.
I went to a Grand Strand Family YMCA event there. They just get things all up and down the Strand to find such a central, and of course Merle's Inlet's so perfect in that it is right in the heart of these two very large counties, Sue.
That's
you
right.
must love that.
Oh, it is. It's
you
nice.
Must love that.
Right in between. We sit right on the county line, so it's perfect.
Are there still opportunities for folks to, and of course you highlighted still that today was the last day for late registration, is
That's
that
right.
But folks could still show up if they showed up this Saturday at 6:30, and I know we're going to have great weather, but rain or shine, the events are going, rain or
That's
shine,
right.
which is
That's
great.
right.
Very important to
Yeah.
highlight. If things take a turn for the worse and it's not great weather, you will still have everyone who's signed up and probably many more showing up this Saturday.
Absolutely.
Where would they want to come?
Morris Park Landing,
Okay.
which is on Business 17, directly next to the Hot Fish Club, across the street from Russell Seafood.
Okay,
Folks are
good.
familiar with those landmarks.
Yes.
And we'll be there taking up whatever registrants. We got the range, we got families coming, we have casual biking, runners, walkers, so there'll be something for everybody.
And you've got, go ahead.
And
sorry.
immediately following at 10 o'clock, immediately following at the park, we'll have some awards
Right.
and prizes given out, and then at 10 o'clock, we'll be over at Creek Rats to have a little post-race party.
Oh, yeah. Perfect place to do that.
That's right.
Again, still in the heart of
That's right.
everything. And Morris Landing, that park is wonderful there. And that is where you said if folks were to show up on April 1st at 2 p.m., it is there, the memorial
That's right.
for Johnny Brown and so many of the lost folks at sea.
That's
it is
right.
there at
It's a very
Morris Landing Park.
nice little park, which we've worked with Georgetown County to secure several years ago. So.
Yes. You've got some other big things that a lot of folks may not know about. And, of course, if they haven't been to Merle's Inlet recently, they can see that tremendous walking and bike path.
That's right. Great excitement, actually, for us all. The bike lanes have been along Business 17 for
Right.
many years now. Well, just recently completed, Linda Ketron and the Bike in the Neck folks, along with Huntington Beach State Park, have completed a beautiful trail that runs through Huntington Beach State Park. And
It meet 17 business?
it meets 17 business and dead ends right there. And, of course, our bike lanes stop at Ori Drive, so that leaves 730 feet of nothing. So our major project, and we're just now submitting a grant to PRT to secure the remainder of the funding,
Yes.
is to put in an extension of the bike lane and then build a bike bridge in the likeness of the marsh walk along that salt marsh. The view
Yes,
there,
I know it
that's
well.
gorgeous.
I know it well.
So that you will have, when that's all said and done, you can start at the Ori-Georgetown County line
Right,
on Business
right.
17 Merle's Inlet and have 11 continuous miles of bike lane and bike trail
Well through Huntington
into
Beach State Park. Yeah.
North Litchfield.
Is that right?
Yes.
So all that's breaking that now is 730 feet?
730
How
feet.
could viewers be involved in helping make sure that happens? What could folks do?
Well, of course, it's a $280,000 ticket item, primarily
Okay.
because of the cost of the bridge construction,
Right.
so we'll gladly accept donations
Okay.
for that. We've already been allocated through the Waccamaw COG $206,000
Of the
funding.
280.
Yeah, and
Is
so
it?
we're asking PRT for $62,000 in this grant, and then the rest will be through ATAX and then Merle's Inlet
So
2007.
you think it's going to happen, Sue?
We're
Feeling good.
We're looking that construction can happen winter of 2007, 2008.
That is tremendous.
Yeah,
Great news.
Yeah, I mean, and the folks are already, it's a little not safe, but
Right,
they're
right,
already,
sure.
they're on,
Feeling
if you
good.
build it, they
Hoping
will
and
come.
never down there.
They'll be
I
down
can see
there.
that.
So
That's exciting.
So that's a great project that we'll be closing up on this coming year.
Well, I'm sorry we're running out of time, Sue, but if you had a minute to highlight some of the things you really wanted to make sure viewers would be focused on with Merle's Inlet 2007, if you had just a minute to talk, what are some of the things you'd really want to push?
Well, I would just say that if anyone has any questions or suggestions, just give us a call. We're very accessible. Call at the office. Our board meetings are the first Wednesday of every month. They're open to the public.
They are, good.
And our Chowder Talk is a great opportunity to come by too, so we welcome everyone.
Yes, and of course, as you said, the event at Wausau on April 16th will sell out, so
Yes,
you better
it always
call
does.
now, 357-2007.
That's right.
Okay, and of course, so many other things going on. Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Sue,
It's
for coming
always a
in this
pleasure.
morning.
Thanks, Greg.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina Pete with Sue Sledz coming up next. Think about those big dreamers back in 1996 and 1997 as they're planning out the thrill of a 10-year project, which now is going to expand well beyond that. A 10-year project to make Murrells Inlet the focus, to keep it strong and keep it growing, and to do so much. You heard Sue talk about her first experience helping out on the Pier project in 2002. Then 2 years later, just 3 years ago, 2 years later, becoming their executive director. The experiences for somebody who 9 years ago may not have even imagined living in the Myrtle Beach area, and of course in Murrells Inlet, the excitement for her to see the growth and the constant beautification and preservation of the Murrells Inlet area. It's a simple phone number, 843-357-2007, 357-2007. Pick up the phone. There's a lot going on. If you weren't here much of this morning but are getting this phone number, call now. You'll learn about the annual Spring Chowder Talk tomorrow night, 6:30, great hot chowder, 7 o'clock. Folks from DNR and Senator Cleary's office talking about much of what's going on to continue to grow Murrells Inlet, or visit murrellsinletsc.com. You'll have a chance to learn about the race for the inlet this Saturday. Late registration wraps up today, but of course you can show up there. Morse Park Landing this Saturday, 7:45. Registration will wrap up. The race starts at 8. That's walk, run, or bike. A lot going on. Just get out there. Come on out and experience the thrill of Murrells Inlet this Saturday.